Hey YouTube, this is Aisha, and this is going to be my top 5 authors that I haven't read. I'm going to start this off with J.K. Rowling. I have never read the Harry Potter series. I've seen all the movies. I've never read the books. I'll explain. When the books came out, I was in college, and I was working at Borders, and we got the first book, and I gave it to my sisters. It looked like a kid's book, so I gave it to my sisters. They read it, they enjoyed it, they loved it. And then it blew up. I'm not one to read books that are seriously hyped. Like, I wanted to read Cinder, and I can't read Cinder because it's extremely hyped. So, I stay away from hyped books because generally hyped books never work out for me. So, I know J.K. Rowling, everyone says she's worth it, and I love the movies, and the movies slay me. And I know that means the books are better, but it's going to be a while. It's going to be a very, very long time before I read Harry Potter. If I ever, I'll probably read it to my kids. Number 2 author that I that I haven't read, and this one's hard to confess, is Toni Morrison. I've read Maya Angelou, I've read Zora Neale Hurston, but I have not read any Toni Morrison. And I do own The Bluest Eye, and I plan to read it. And I know she has tons of other works that I should read, and it's a shame. I have no excuses. I just have no excuses. She's just one I haven't gotten to. I have no idea why. I really can't tell you why I haven't read anything by her. I've read just about every other female black author of any standing, and Toni is just the one I haven't touched yet. The next one, I haven't read any of the Bronte sisters. Charlotte Bronte. I've read Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. I actually love Jane Eyre. I have never read Wuthering Heights, and I'm not quite sure I'll ever read it. My sister read it, and she loved it, and generally we have the same taste in authors. But Edward from Twilight is based off of Heathcliff, and I'm not quite sure I could read that. I hated Twilight. I didn't make it past the first book. I didn't make it past the first half of the first book because I hated Bella. I have not read Anne's book either, which is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. I do want to read it, though. Just to complete my classics. I've read quite a few classics, and that's perhaps one of the few I haven't read. Another author I haven't read, although I love watching contemporary and reading contemporary versions of, and this is sad, this is so sad. I've read Pride and Prejudice, but I have not read any of her other works. I've never read any Jane Austen. I've read Pride and Prejudice, and that was because of school. I don't really remember it, but to be honest, I don't remember reading it. I know I had to read it. I wrote a paper on it for my mom and for school, but I don't remember it. I don't. Although I love reading the contemporary versions and watching contemporary shows, like Lost in Austin, which I absolutely love, and I love Bridget Jones' Diary, Mr. Darcy, but I've never read any Jane Austen. I want to be a Janeite. I do. But, I don't know. I've never read. So, to combat that, this year I got Emma and Pride and Prejudice, and I'm going to try to read them between now and August. So that I'll be prepped for Austen in August. So when they have the discussions, I know what I'm talking about. And then number 5, author I've never read, and I know I will never read. And I have nothing against people who read it. I just could not get through it. The others I will definitely be giving a chance. This one, I just figured throw it on there. One you'll never read. One I'll never read, and I have never read, and I will never ever ever read, is Stephanie Meyer. And yeah, I started reading Twilight because when it first came out, like I said, I worked in the bookstore, and I read the first half of the book, and I was just like, I'll be honest, I thought white girl problems and gave the book away. I'll be for real. I'll be real. It was my last year of college, and I read this book, and I was like, this is really just white girl problems, and I really don't care, and I hate Bella, and yeah, no, I gave it away. My sisters read it. They tore the book apart. They both loved it and hated it at the same time. I saw the first movie, and I was just like, oh, okay. I didn't watch the second or the third. I didn't care to watch the others. I just, it's not for me. You know what? Everyone loves something else, and everyone loves what they love. I just know it's not for me, and anything that's been derived from it is not for me either. Like I said, Edward is derived from Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights, and I am not a fan of Wuthering Heights, so can't tell ya.